See, to heck, your mind, it is like a gun. And you want to load it up with little itty bitty bullets of knowledge.
What's going on, family? It's your guy Boro, the Lucky Libra, and this is a follow-up, alright, from my live stream a couple of days ago, going over my Pisces season reading for all zodiac signs. I wanted to get the houses, transits of the sun through the houses in that reading, but you know the Lucky Libra got a chit chat for days, so we went going way over time. But for the most part, I just want to make sure I get through these influences now that you know the sun is also 3 degrees, so it's fully into the constellation. But I want us to understand what influence the sun in Pisces brings to the houses. Alright, so make sure y'all check out my website to connect with the Lucky Libra. Tap into my Patreon as well. I'm getting into monthly classes, deeper analysis, celebrity synastry breakdowns, and more. Alright, so what influence does the sun in Pisces bring to the house? We know the houses is the area of life. Okay, the sun is transiting the part of your chart where you have the Pisces constellation at. Okay, so you want to make sure you understand where you have the Pisces constellation at. I'll also be naming the rising signs. Even though I name your rising sign, you may have intercepted houses. So for the most part, you may have Pisces in 2 houses. Okay, you may be looking at your chart from a certain website that doesn't show you the visual of your chart, so you can't see where Pisces is at. Maybe you don't got no planets in Pisces, so it doesn't come up in certain charts or whatnot, but everybody has a house with Pisces in it. Okay, so the influence the sun is going to bring, the sun is always going to bring a new awareness, a new consciousness, something for us to pay attention to, something for us to gain a new awareness on, and it's going to influence expression and us to be action oriented in that house. But this house is the house we have Pisces in, so we're going to be influenced to size up how we've been expressing or utilizing our creativity in this house, how we've been playing with our imagination in this house. Okay, we're also going to be gaining more of an awareness of how we've been connecting, who we've been connecting to, what energies relating to this area of life. We're going to be gaining more of an awareness of that. Pisces season is always going to place a lens on your creative source, on what you creatively bring to this table, to the collective, and how you're able to connect that. So we're going to be paying more of attention to that in this area of life during Pisces season. We're also going to have a increase of faith and belief in this house. Pisces is mutable water, ruled by Jupiter, co-ruled by Neptune. So that archetype influences dealing with faith, belief, Jupiter and Neptune, expansion. All right, your spiritual essence, your ability to look at things from a broader perspective, your wisdom from your experiences. So we throw faith, belief, intuition all up in that archetype with Pisces in the 12th house. So this is gonna be a house that if you haven't been exercising that faith and belief in that area of life, or overall with certain areas of your life, this is where some of the construction work is gonna be dealing with your faith and belief. So let's get right into it, starting with my Pisces risings, the first house. Okay, when we look at the first house, I don't know if I said it before. Yeah, I know I talk fast. I don't know if I said it in the intro, but this is basically a follow-up from my reading for all signs, which I live streamed a couple of days ago. And all my readings from this point on, even though this is a video, all my readings, like for new sign, new transits, new seasons, that's all live stream. Okay, I'm gonna be private live streaming a lot of them on Patreon, early access over there, and then dropping them on YouTube too. Okay, so yeah, just look out for those. Turn them notifications on, alright? But when we look at Pisces rising, first house, you feel me? You got the sun transit in your first house. What's the first house? The first house is our personality. The first house is how we deal with our personal issues, how we personally express ourselves. Is a fire house, so it's dealing with personal expression, our personal insight, how people personally perceive us, and ultimately how we connect to people, places, and things. And with Pisces in this house, your personal outlook in the world is through a Piscean lens. Alright, so it's dealing with compassion, it's dealing with the collective, it's dealing with creativity and how you're able to relate that, connect that, build the relationships out of that, how you're able to, you know, navigate your creativity and reality. That's what the Pisces Rising is experiencing. And with the sun transiting this house, this is seeing new ways to deal with your personal issues and express your personal creativity. So right now, it's the sun loves to be in this house because it's lighting up what you personally see, how you personally see yourself. All right, the sun is lighting up how you're able to personally express yourself right now, Pisces Rising. All right, you're getting more of an influence on what you personally creatively bring to the table. All right. And when it comes to people, places, and things that you, when it comes to people that you connect to in your personal life, the way you express yourself at this time and moment, or how you even personally express yourself to the world in any type of shape or form, this is a time that's gaining more traction, more attention, gravitate more light with that sun transit in your first house. So I always say this is a great time to drop certain personal projects if you're an artist or whatnot, to project a lot. If certain things you want to put in the light with the sun transit in the first house, time shoot for the stars with the sun being in this energy. Now this is also energy that could play out with you personally feeling like you have to express your emotion more than ever right now. So we want to channel that through a creative way and not in a detriment where it's either clashing with others or you feeling like you have to fight for how your emotion needs to be seen with the sun transit in the first house. This energy is also going to influence you to have more faith and belief with your personal issues and pursuits. All right, so it's going to be a self-esteem boost in how you believe in your goddamn self with the sun transit in your first house with all your personal creative endeavors, all your personal creative pursuits, all your creative ways of being able to connect and relate to others personally. All of that is going to be highly stimulated at the moment. Okay, so this is what we want to understand. Aquarius Rising, second house. All right, Aquarius in what's the second house? The second house is our value system, what we feel like we have, what we feel like we have to offer to the world, our form of security. All right, and how we're able to build that and stabilize that based off of connecting or planting seeds into our value system. Second house deals with your self-esteem and what your talents and the people, places, and things that you value. So when we look at the second house having Aquarius in there, you already value your ability to deal with some form of association, your individual thought, how you communicate to others in an individual way, and how you relate to the collective and how you strategize about that. But overall, with air in that second house, you're going to value relationships and you're going to utilize relationships in some type of shape or form, in some type of way you could see yourself building things, connecting to your values, and you're going to hold people in high regard with Aquarius in the second house as well. So with Aquarius here, this is learning to value faith and seeing new ways to use your creativity. So the sun transit in that second house is going to be this is a huge creative boost here, because the second house feel like what you have to offer to the world, your self-esteem. So it also deal with your creativity, your values. So with the sun transit in here, it's shining a flashlight on your values. We also trickling into the career area of life. So right now, make sure that the way you feel like your emotion needs to be expressed in this area is it done in a wise and reasonable way, but it's definitely gonna bring an influence to want to connect to the creativity within you. All right, and how you could more so plant more seeds into that to stabilize it. When it comes to the things you guys are working on and structuring that you feel like you have to offer to the world, whether it's your creativity, your art, your a business that you're working on, you know, something that you value, a pursuit that you're on right now that you value, that falls into the second house, something that you're teaching right now. These are all going to be creatively stimulated at the moment. So we want to make note of these ideas, and this is definitely going to be an energy. This is definitely going to be an energy for you Aquarius Risings, where the value, the self-worth that you see yourself within the career place, you guys are really gonna be sizing that up, aka seeing if you being valued in that area of life right now. All right, because this is all the area life, and this is also an area life once again that you need to have more faith and belief in the ways that you're working on things, in the things that you already value. So if you're dealing with minor and major frustrations, this is a time to learn from them and keep it pushing and understand you finna manifest what you see, what you feel, what you value in that area of life. All right. Now, my Capricorn Rising is third house. What's the third house? What's the third house? Third house is the air house, social house, relationship house. This is how we relate to others in our how we've learned to relate to others, how we've learned to communicate to others based off of our familiar environment, our familiar neighborhood, the people, places, and things in our local environment. All right, siblings, relatives, neighbors. And when we look at the sun transiting here, I call this relating your creativity among your environment and familiar friends. So right now, this is a time where you guys can be in a state where you really want to connect what you're creatively into with some of your familiar friends and see how that relationship could be stimulated off these things. You could really be sizing up the relationship between your friends and what you're creatively into. So don't dive too much in feeling like people that you're already familiar with have to support your creativity in some type of shape or form, because we all got to individually understand this. But this is an air house, so definitely going to be an energy where you're going to be in some type of relating and communicative type of energy with the sun transit in your third house, and definitely paying attention to what you can use, what familiar sorts of creativity you already have that you can use. And especially sun transiting in the third house is always going to shine some light on things going on in your familiar surroundings, whether it's the relations, certain things with the relationship with your siblings and familiar friends. On a positive negative spectrums, it's going to be things that you're going to be able to see about your familiar friends and siblings, and just things going on in your familiar surroundings that you need to be conscious of that you maybe wasn't conscious of before. Okay, and also having more faith in your friends and siblings as well, because we know this energy is going to bring faith and belief to where is that with the sun shining a light on Pisces through the houses. So having more faith and belief in things that you may be involved in, especially creative endeavors that you may be already involved in with some friends that you're working on relating to or whatnot, or ultimately just having faith and belief in your friends, in the things that they may be dealing with challenges and whatnot, and you playing out as a support system, having Pisces in this house, Pisces in the third house, you playing out as the the mediator or the friend to connect to. Pisces manifesting that type of energy here. So if situations involve you and it could ultimately affect your emotional well-being, sun transiting here, you have to have more faith and belief in your friends and your ways of dealing with that relationship in some type of shape or form, especially if it's a sibling. Okay, now fourth house, this is Sagittarius risings. I'll take a little sippy sip. Alright. Sagittarius risings, this is the fourth house. What is the fourth house? Fourth house is a cardinal water house. Okay, it's dealing with how we connect to the family home environment, domestic issues, but how we create emotional stability, how we tap into our forms of solitude and privacy to deal with the emotional well-being. And when you have the sun transiting here, this is learning how to connect in the home and have more faith and belief with how you deal with your emotional well-being. So Pisces in the fourth house, Sag risings. You could go through a lot of emotional ups and downs in the fourth house in the home environment. There's some support you guys get with your emotional well-being in the fourth house in some type of shape or form with Pisces here. Some people, places, and things in this lifetime that you're able to connect to either blow off steam with your emotions or to feel at home with. But at the same time, it's cardinal water, so you have to learn to create it in this house. And when it's Pisces water, a lot of the time you're expecting the emotion to be connected. You're expecting Sagittarius risings. You expect the way you express yourself at times for that to just be reciprocated, and at times it's not like that. You could have illusions with how you deal with your emotional well-being. So with the sun coming here, is gaining more of an awareness, some emotional clarity here, being able to see your errors where you've made certain mistakes emotionally connecting to a certain person, place, or thing. All right, and being able to resolve that during this transit. This is a very creative time. All right, I think the fourth house is some of the most underrated energies dealing with creativity, because not only is it a cardinal house, but it's cardinal water. And is music not something that a lot of people connect to create emotional stability? So people that have moon in the fourth house, certain placements in the fourth house, Neptune in the fourth house, Jupiter in the fourth house, all right, Venus in the fourth house, or creative people, All right, Venus in Cancer, Jupiter in Cancer, very creative people, because they utilize that energy dealing with the way they have to express themselves in order to or connect to, in order to deal with emotional stability. So if it's a real creative energy in that alignment, then that deals with some of the emphasis of what they could connect to make them feel comfortable, and the way they could express that come out in a real creative way. But so Sagittarius Risings, all right, we dealing with some energies to help mend what's going on with the emotional well-being. You're going to be seeing new ways how you could deal with certain issues within your family and home environment. All right, if people been getting their toes stepped on in the family home environment, you got to see how you can deal with these issues, gain more of awareness, more of a wiser insight. But here we could sink into some heavy emotion though. We could sink into some heavy emotion about this time and really feel like we have to express how we truly feel, to have releases, to feel more you know, lighter dealing with this emotion. So be conscious about the environments and who you're connecting to, because the sun trans in the fourth house is gonna not just influence you to jump into being private, but it's gonna influence you to understand why you may need more privacy, why you may need to cater. Once again, fourth house, the home of the moon. So we're dealing with needs. Your emotions is a need. Okay, so we're gonna be seeing how to do construction work with people, places, and things in that area of life, but especially resolutions within the family home environment and people that you're emotionally connected to. All right, with the fourth house. Now, fifth house, Scorpio risings. We know the fifth house. The fifth house is dealing with your creative expression. It's a fire house dealing with expression overall, dealing with your artistic expression, dealing with entertainment, okay? It's dealing with what you want to put on the stage, on the spotlight in this lifetime, dealing with children, childlike activity. So this is embracing and connecting your creative expression, all right? And dealing with more faith and belief with your creative expression, okay? Dealing with more, excuse me, that's actually what it is. I think I scratched out the first one. Dealing with more faith and belief with your creative expression. All right, so when the sun gets in the fifth house, it's home here, and when the planet is home, it feels comfortable. So with the sun feeling comfortable, this is the influence to feel comfortable with the way you express yourself and deal with your creativity. Having Pisces in that fifth house, there's a whole bunch of creativity in there. All right, might be a lot of illusions with how you express these things. But with the sun coming here, is influence you to have more faith and belief with how you creatively express yourself and how you self-express yourself. Period. A lot of times with Pisces in this house, you can sink into your own your own illusions about the potential of how you see yourself expressing yourself in a simple way, not even with a creative project or creative endeavor you have, just how you want to express yourself to somebody with energies here, with Pisces energies here. You could start diving into the negative outcome, which would make you not even want to express the shit. And that's a whole illusion. That's just you diving into your subconscious about how you want to express yourself. So you're gonna get way more clarity in some type of shape or form why you should have more faith and belief in how you creatively express yourself. It may be you paying attention to another, you a rapper, you paying attention to another rapper. You feel like you more creative than that rapper. But you see that rapper getting they stream money. You see that rapper getting a whole bunch of algorithm on Instagram, YouTube going crazy. You see your friends listen to that rap and you like, I'm way better than this nigga. Like, this is that type energy. So a person, place, or thing is going to help you to influence why you should be expressing yourself more, experiencing more self and creative expression, all right? And more ways for you to understand how you're seen, or how you could be seen from your creative expression as well. Now, that's my Scorpio risings. Now, my Libra rising, sixth house. What's the sixth house? The sixth house is how we schedule, organize, all right? How we, invoke principles of routine, organization, and put things in order. How we understand how scheduling is needed to build whatever we're working on, whatever we value, whatever we want to grow. And also dealing with diet and our regimen. So for my Libra risings, all right, with Pisces and the sun transit in this house, this is more of an influence for you to have more faith and belief in the creativity that you're working on, or you're scheduling, or you're routining. It don't matter if you've been trying to routine and schedule something that you're creatively into, because a lot of y'all with Pisces, Libra Risings, with Pisces in the 6th house, you can have illusions with the ways that you go about scheduling and routining things. Sometimes it could depend on how you feel about things, that when it comes to the reality of dealing with schedule and organization. So it could be a lot of illusions here, but you guys are going to be influenced to find ways to schedule and organize and routine your creative source, your creative attributes, the things you want to creatively express into the world, your dreams. And with the sun transiting here, this is dealing with more faith and belief with your routine, okay? And what you're creatively working on, or what you're working on overall. Because the 6th house not only rules the workplace, workplace is the reality of the 6th house frequency vibration. So the 6th house is dealing with what you're working on, period. So some people, not everybody has a job or goes to a certain workplace every day, but what you are working on, what you are scheduling and routining, when the sun comes in this house, is more of an influence of you gaining more of an awareness with this energy. You got Pisces in this constellation, so you're gonna see where your creativity comes in balance with the reality of scheduling and routining, okay? And this is also a transit where you guys gotta tidy up on your diet and regimen when it comes to how much you've been sleeping, when it comes to or how much rest you've been getting, how you've been making a responsibility to make sure your temple nourished and whatnot. The sun gonna make sure you on top of them things transit in the 6th house. So keep an eye out for that. All right. And also learning to make time for your creativity, learning to schedule that shit. If you are dealing with something, a creative endeavor, or overall anything that you're working on, or a passion that you have, or a certain a dream, or whatever it is that you aspire to do, the sun in the 6th house is gonna make sure you understand, motherfucker, you need to make sure you develop some type of schedule routine around it. I motherfucker bit the side of my motherfucking cheek when I said that. You gotta manifest some type of schedule routine for that to grow, some container for that to grow. All right, you're not even able to critique or see the details of things because it's not being in a consistent schedule. All right, and that's what y'all gonna have to pay attention to, Libra Risings. Now, Virgo, is this all the water I got? I guess so. 7th house, Virgo Risings. When we look at the 7th house is how we connect to people, places, and things on a one-on-one level. All right, it's also dealing with intimate romantic relationships on a one-on-one level. It's dealing with how we connect to the external realm, how we deal with relationships of all sorts, our one-on-one relationships with our parents, with our friends, with our siblings, or who are a significant other. And it's air house, okay? We know air house is dealing with relationship. And but we know the 7th house is opposite from the 1st house. It's a cardinal house. So it's how we create ways to relate to others and initiate forms of connection with others on a one-on-one level. So this house is opposite from how you personally express yourself and your personal outlook in the world. So this house is dealing with gaining the balance between your personal outlook and how your ability to connect with others and find balance with others in a one-on-one way. So for my Virgo risings with Pisces in the 7th house, could be a lot of illusions in the relationships. All right, you be in situations where you feel like, you know, you gotta personally work on your relationships, and then you end up realizing you're working on an illusion with Pisces in the 7th house. But a lot of situations you connect to people and they tap you into a lot of Virgo risings experience relationships where, you know, they may have been reserved or whatnot, or been real critical of people that have been dating, and they just date somebody and then they just go to la la land with the person. The person taps them into all type of emotions, fantasies, and plays out as an escape mechanism from things that they've been experiencing in this world. So it get deep with Pisces in the 7th house, but with this energy, we call it, learning to have more faith in your relationships and your ability to relate and connect to others. Okay? So with this type of energy, you may be working on certain things, you may be aspiring to do certain things, but it deals with a certain amount of networking and being able to connect it to others, relate it to others. This energy gonna bring some more faith and belief to how you're able to relate to others on a one-on-one level. Also, when it comes to your relationships, more faith and belief in your relationship if it's something that you see both parties have effort in and want to get to a balanced stage, both parties gonna be you know, with this energy transit in your 7th house, gonna really want to make sure that they're able to connect. With this energy transit in your 7th house, you could also jump into some toxic energy and want to connect with somebody you ain't supposed to be connecting with. Alright? Especially when Venus get up in here. Ooh, when Venus get up here during the week, in a couple of days. Alright? So y'all got to be careful with the fantasy of connecting with somebody right now that you was probably detached and disconnected with for a reason. With these energies transiting y'all 7th house, Virgo Rising, during Pisces season. Y'all one of the first ones right now to fall into some illusion with connection and relating the emotion and filling the void with relating to somebody right now. Just be careful, Virgo Risings. Alright? Definitely a whole bunch of new ways to deal with connecting your creativity to others. Definitely new ways to deal with connecting your creativity to the external realm. Alright? And this is also, like I said, having more faith and belief in your ability to relate to others. So if there have been any insecurities with how you're able to connect to others in the external realm with your relationships right now, there's a self-esteem boost, especially when Venus get up in here with being able to experience connecting with others or being able to establish a connection with others in some type of shape or form. Alright? So insecurities are about to get shot down here. Or any fears or any worries about our relationship. So we want to make sure that we stay on that optimistic side. That's another thing that these energies are bringing to the house, is optimism. All right. Now, 8th house, Leo risings. All right. And this is more faith and creativity in your deep passions and desires. All right. And also having faith that you can cultivate deep emotion. All right. So with Pisces in the 8th house, you experience a lot of situations where you feel like connecting, being more open to connecting, helps you deal with strengthening the emotions or whatnot. And then you experience a lot of situations where you realize you was wrong about that. Alright? You was real wrong about sharing that secret with somebody, thinking it was going to bring some relief to how you deal with that energy because that person came off open. It was illusion. You was wrong about that shit with Pisces in the 8th house. Alright? But it helps you to learn how to connect with others on a deep level, on a psychological level. Alright, so this is my Leo risings. Okay? And a lot of times with Pisces in the 8th house is very creative placement. 8th house is a very creative house. So Leo risings know how to take some dark ass energies and bring it up to make it fruitful and make dark transformation look beautiful to the collective in different ways that they deal with their creativity. Especially there are certain alignments in this house. Leo rising with Venus and Pisces and is in the 8th house. Some of the most creative Leo rising you're gonna see. It's all different type of alignments that can align with that 8th house. But right now, you guys are about to have more faith and belief with how you deal with your deep motives and your deep passions. You ain't gonna wanna be so heavy on your passions right now. You're gonna see gaps and opportunities to shoot it up to the surface, shoot it up to that lighter Pisces water instead of that heavy 8th house water. So it's gonna be way more of an optimistic outlook on something that was a secret, on a creative endeavor that's been behind the scenes from everybody. All right, from some form of information that you guys have been wanting to express to somebody, some real deep intimate information you've been wanting to relate to somebody that's important, that you're dating right now, that you're connecting to right now, that you're involved with right now. You're gonna feel like you could relate these things right now. So we mixing in some passion with what we value with this transit, and definitely gonna feel the need to be more action oriented. Let's use the word want. Definitely gonna want to be more action oriented with the sun transit in the 8th house, Leo risings. All right. And you're going to be able to really see the optimistic side of a lot of your frustrations dealing with certain deep passions and desires that you guys have. Now, my Cancer risings, all right? 9th house. This is more faith and belief in your wisdom and what you know. Okay, so the 9th house is dealing with knowledge, wisdom, enlightenment, the house of education, travel, experiences, foreign culture, foreign land. So with the sun transiting here, not only does it want to express what it know, you got Pisces here. So Pisces, Jupiter ruled, all right. But with Pisces in the 9th house, you Cancer risings, y'all going through all type of episodes, learning how to deal with the connection of your creativity and the emotions. All type of experiences, learning how to understand. Because water gonna sink into energies and help you understand and be receptive. So you guys are pretty receptive and study how to be aligned with others who's creatively into what you're into and people that's around your subconscious and your dreams and imagination. You Cancer risings are searching for that in this lifetime, to be aligned with people on your frequency vibration. So, because it's dealing with the connection, it's dealing with nurturing, but it want to nurture something right, healthy, and the more faith and belief with the sun transit in the 9th house. More faith and belief in your wisdom, what you already know, what you already experienced. This has to trickle into what you working on, what you apply, what you trying to attack in life, what your aspirations in life. The 9th house deal with experiences, what you want to experience, what you want to experience, lower, what you want to experience, grow and expand on. All right. Getting tongue twisted over there with the sun transit in the 9th house. Definitely going to be a time where you could be getting into clashes right now, trying to express what it is that you know when people are underestimating your knowledge and wisdom. So let that shit come with some reasonable ass wise energy at the same time, but it may be opportunity where you have to do that, where people trying to front on what is it that you already know, front on your creativity, and you got to let them know, my nigga, I've been around the block a couple times, alright bro, so you're not about to front on me. We're not doing that today. I'm gonna express that. Sun transit in the 9th house. I'm about to express my knowledge, wisdom. I'm about to express the fucking education I got about some shit. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But don't dive too much in the emotional ego clashes with that. Just make sure that's respected and that's motherfucking solidified. Cancer risings. And also I bulleted letting your experiences flow more. Not being so heavily rooted in what action to take in your experiences, as mainly connecting with others at the same time. Letting that learn to flow some more, whether it's with your significant other, somebody you're dating, or overall. Now 10th house, Gemini risings, alright, and we called it, what is the 10th house? The 10th house rules your social status, rules your recognition to the world, rules career, alright, and how you stabilize that perception to the world, and how that cultivates your social status and your reputation, all right, and how you gaining foundation and forming stability in this realm. And when we look at the 10th house, called as having more belief and faith in your career pursuits or issues related to your social status, all right. So when we look at the 10th house, is also dealing with how we rise to a status. So is that social status that we're trying to pursue or develop, or career pursuit we trying to develop. And with the sun coming here, it's shining more of a light and more of an awareness on what decisions you can make, what creative ways you can influence what you're doing with career. And also when it's dealing with, if you're an artist in any type of shape or form, like this is a great transit to drop music, okay? Pisces in the 10th house a lot of the time has to teach or utilize creativity when it comes to their social status, or when it comes to forms of career, or when it comes to you Gemini risings. A lot of your creativity, Gemini risings, often develops their reputation early in life. Alright? So right now y'all about to have more faith and belief in the things that y'all know y'all known for, and the things people be coming to y'all for, and the things that people be expressing that they be learning from y'all, that they be getting inspired about from y'all. Y'all gonna start having more of an influence and awareness of how to stabilize these things and make them account for something. It's also the time where you're gonna see certain opportunities within the career area of life, or how you can take certain actions to connect things to get from point A to B when it comes to how you could develop your social status, or certain career moves, career transitions that you're trying to make right now. Alright? Also seeing new ways to broadcast yourself in a creative way. So when it comes to anything related to, your career, or how you broadcasting yourself, or how you utilize social media, how you're branding certain things in your life, or business pursuits, all different type of new influences dealing with how your creative outlook on these things. All different new influences to see who you could connect these things to. All right? And all different opportunities to show up, to add on to these things from universe by you shining a light on these energies. by you expressing your creativity, all right? By you expressing the creative aspects of what people already know you for in your social status, or the social status that you're trying to develop for whatever career pursuit that you may have. All right, y'all? Now, my Taurus risings. What is the 11th house? All right? The 11th house is dealing with how we connect to the public environment, how we relate our individuality to the public environment, how we network, deal with associates in our organizations, all right? How we conduct ourselves overall in the public arena, social media, technology, rules, technology, and all forms of communication. So when we look at the 11th house, this is more faith and belief in your ability to connect or express yourself in the public, and how you deal with associates in your organizations. All right. So with the sun transiting here, when it comes to the people that you're associated with, or the organization that you may be a part of, or the people that you relate to in your career industry or whatnot, or your ability to connect your business into the public environment, new customers, new clients, new faces, all right, utilizing new brands and technology to connect to people that don't know you. The 11th house deal with unknown and unfamiliar is a whole new self-esteem boost here. There's a whole new sense of faith and belief when it comes to how you're able to connect to the external realm. All right, so you've been dealing with some stagnation, a little frustration with how you're able to make something apparent to the public arena. Now you're about to develop a whole bunch of new influences and creative outlooks on how you can connect to others here. All right. There's definitely going to be some opportunities for you guys to see what creativity you guys have that the external realm, that a certain niche or brand or collective or organization, the external realm is already paying attention to make you even feel like, damn, I knew I'm not the only person that's into that shit, or I'm sure if I could relate if that's going on in the collective, I'm sure I could gain traction with what I want to relate and connect to the world. Because the 11th house is also dealing with how we connect to the conscious collective, but through the intellect. So here you're going to be developing a lot of ideas, be in your head a lot about how you could associate and strategize certain things. But at the same time, it's going to be dealing with your creative pursuits. And you're going to just be seeing new ways to take action and connect to the people that you are already among, or the people that you're already associated with and organized with. There's going to be things you wasn't seeing about your associates on a positive and negative spectrum you wasn't seeing before. And you're going to have real creative ways to articulate yourself, expressing yourself to these people. If it's things that you wasn't seeing before, now you got the sun in 11th house, and this person been in your 11th house, aka now in your first house, now the personal friend now in the 3rd house, 4th house, and now you starting to see some true intention. So a lot of that energy as well. And then last but not least, we got the 12th house, my Aries risings, with Pisces in the 12th house. So super duper creative transit for you guys. You guys already got Pisces in the 12th house. So Aries risings, you could experience a lot of illusions, expressing, your subconscious energies, because Pisces is already there. And the energies that's in that 12th house is things that's going to influence what we already subconsciously do, our dreams and our imagination. So Pisces there, Aries rising, you guys are super creative. All right, you got Pisces home in that constellation, but it creates so many illusions for a lot of the times that you guys are sparked as an Aries rising, as your body, your vitality, your first house is so stimulated to embark on its personal visions. With that 12th house, with all that creativity, all that imagery, imagination, all that non-physical shit going on in that 12th house, that shit could get expressed quicker from an Aries rising. So as much creativity as that's there. So we just call this more faith and belief in all your dreams, imagination, and creative endeavors. It's going to be a super self-esteem boost to your ability to connect your creativity to the world. It's going to be a new awareness that you're going to see about certain illusions you may have developed, and how to capitalize on them illusions, how to find clarity in certain illusions with different ways you may have been trying to utilize connecting to others, dealing with your creative endeavors and your creative expression, and ultimately your dreams, Aries rising. You about to see new ways to tackle your dreams and new ways to improve and make more progress with your actions towards your dreams with the sun transit in 12th house. So it could be a very inspiring time for my Aries risings during Pisces season, okay? And then you're going to also understand how you should appreciate being able to relate these things, or have certain relationships or foundations where you can relate these things and connect these things as well. That's something that you're truly going to understand, and it may trickle up from the relationships you already a part of, learning to appreciate and support them relationships as well. Alright, Aries Rising, so that's what we dealing with. Y'all already know the vibes, family. It's your guy, Boy, the Lucky Libra, tuning in and tuning out. Y'all make sure to tap in my website to connect with the Lucky Libra and check out my Patreon where I'm getting into a whole bunch more over there. Alright, until next time, peace.